Do your shadow work. Okay, I'm going to come right out and say it because you guys aren't getting the message. If you're not doing your shadow work, don't contact me. I'm not kidding. I am not open for friendship with people who are not doing their shadow work, dualistic, third-dimensional egos, because that is a reptilian ego. And believe me, unless you realize what your shadow is, and what you should do about it, you are exactly that, a dualistic thinker who enacts the divide and conquer separation programming. So many of you have proven it to me time and time again. I want nothing more to do with duality. And if you harbor any of it within your psyche, then I want nothing to do with you. It's that simple. Those of you who laugh at the sheeple, that's duality thinking. Divide and conquer. Of course Facebook wants you to continue laughing at others, so it blocks my posts telling you to stop it. You think yourselves so smart, but you're not, because yet again, your big ego has fallen into the Matrix's trap for you. You are hating on other people. That's what it wants. Keep fighting with each other, keep hating each other, and let it operate in the background to control us even more so than it is today. Ivo has explained to us how the Matrix works to keep your vibration down. And there are many ways that you enact this. Hating others is the biggest way, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. That's divide and conquer. Obviously nobody expects you to like everyone else on the planet, but perhaps trying to have some compassion or to learn some tolerance. It doesn't all work your way. You're not the boss here and you don't get to say who lives on this planet. Stop playing God. You have to wise up and realize that your shadow is you being mind controlled. Despite Ivo and my efforts to tell you this on this channel, you still haven't listened. The reason I know this is because you message me and then you start dumping your egotistical crap on my doorstep. I don't deal with egos, sorry to tell you, because in dealing with egos I'm dealing with the Matrix. I'm done dealing with the Matrix, and you're presenting yourself back in my life is the Matrix's attempt to drag me back onto the artificial timelines. It will always get the weak ones. You people need to get it. You need to understand this. When you enact separation consciousness, you're just as enslaved in the Matrix as those people you call sheep. You are still caught in the trap. It's that your big ego is telling you you're not, but you are. I'm tired of starting conversations with people only to have to deal with your character flaws. Those are the things you think that you won't take responsibility for. If you're controlling, think that everyone wants your help to run your life. Oh yes, it looks like you're being nice, doesn't it? You hate on others, or if you think you have to message me every day because for some reason you think we're best buds now that I've answered your message, you're deluding yourself. These are not things I want in my life. Dependent people who don't really know how to create friendships, and codependent people who are also unskilled. All you're going to be is my next problem. Realize I'm living the life I want to now. It's quiet, I get to do my light work, I have the love of my life with me, I have higher guidance. What more would I want other than the house I'm to build a spaceport with? And that's coming. I don't want to know your shadow. Can I make it any more clear? What do I have to do? I've already outlined all the traits I can think of a person who is disempowered. That's on my website. I came up with 350 traits. Do I have to outline the traits of someone who is not aware of their shadow and dancing to its tune, when in fact it's not your shadow is the Matrix and your attachments putting thoughts into your head? How clear do I have to make myself? It's not even you're enacting. It's a computer program that syncs with your own lower frequencies. Remember when you were a baby, that is more like how you really are. Very innocent, sweet, wanting to love. That is your soul. That is you. Are you like that now? Probably not. Why? Because you've been taught not to be. Realize your lower mind operates on the same frequency waves that the Matrix does to pipe thoughts into your head. Your lower mind is being artificially regulated by low vibrational EMFs and you think it's you being nasty. It isn't. You're a being of light who came here to save this planet. How can you be nasty? It's simple, you're mind controlled. Now what you have to do is to stop acting out the thoughts you are having that are mind controlled. Just ignore them. If you have nasty thoughts, ignore them and don't act on them. Don't even tell your shrink because these nasty thoughts are not yours. they belong to the matrix and / or your attachments. They don't belong to you. You want freedom? Do this work. Ignore your nasty thoughts. You are watching these videos and you haven't even figured out that all your thoughts are not your own? What's worse, you think they're your opinion and you try to poison my life with your negative opinions. And you expect me to put up with that? The only reason I produce as much work as I do is because I don't allow personalities to slow me down. I have relationships with people on earth that are adult, mature and don't involve our shadows because we work on eliminating mind control and we get rid of our attachments. But you guys are too green to be able to see this. Even though it's written in so many messages and repeated over and over, never mind not only here but on other sites as well. Some of you are here to transmute the familial DNA. So all you do is realize that the nastiness that you recognize in yourself was learned from your mother or father. Instead of acting out your low self-esteem, instead of being depressed and hating on yourself because you feel you're just like your parents and they were a couple of losers, send them love. Send yourself love. It's not hard. For your own sake, open your heart. You just have to realize that this is not you. This is mind control. So many of you don't, and you continue to act it out and create bad karma. The Matrix loves you, the deep state thanks you, and all the reptilians are jumping for joy because they sucked you in again. And again, and again. You are not negative. You are a being of light who came from higher realms to help liberate this planet and to begin the ascension event here. How many times do we have to repeat this? If you don't like a particular race of people, then maybe what you need is to understand is that you are being prompted to hate others. If you think they have big egos, take a look at your own. I have thoughts sometimes and I think, that's not me. I could never think that. One of them is that Ivo is ugly. Ivo is not ugly and I would never think so. So who does think he's ugly? Reptilians, of course. They hate humans. Ivo is a beautiful human being that I love with all my heart. It is not possible for me to think this. It is an attempt to manipulate me into hating him. The other thing you're missing in projecting all your mind control at others is the opportunity to learn. You can improve yourself just by examining thoughts that come into your head. If you agree with yourself, then you have some negativity you need to work on. If you think, damn, I really hate that lady's blouse, and you realize that that's mind control but you agree with it, then you have to understand you have a fear of being judged by others. That is you giving over control of yourself to other people. I'd better buy nice blouses, otherwise everyone will hate them. So now who's got control of you? The Matrix does. You want to stop this? Buy a really ugly blouse and go out in public. Deal with the feelings that come up within yourself during that time. Write them down and then go home and write about them. How did you feel wearing that ugly blouse? What did you think others were thinking about you while you had it on? Did you see the way that man looked at me? He probably thought I have the worst taste in the world. After you're done all of that, go to a Codependence Anonymous meeting because what others think of you is far too important if you can't even dress yourself without worrying what people think. If you don't like a particular nation of people, well, we all have preferences, but maybe they wouldn't like you either. You don't get to dictate who lives here. It doesn't all go your way. We do have preferences, but Earth is a diverse world. There's a lot of variety here of culture, race, and more. Would you have it any other way? If everyone looked the same, all the walls were painted white, all the roads were black and people all wore brown clothing? Pretty monotonous, isn't it? So we have variety, and viva la difference. So if you don't like all of it, that means you have to learn to live with variety. You need to be more tolerant. You don't get everything your way here, besides who died and left you in charge. You don't have to love everything, you don't have to even like everything, but trashing out everything you can at the first chance you get isn't on. If your idea of having a conversation is trashing out everything that doesn't suit you, you're pretty entitled. Am I doing the same here? I'm not. We've been telling you what to do about your ego and you haven't listened. Don't think that going to 5D you're going to get there with a duality consciousness. That sucker has to be transformed before the gates of heaven open for you because they are all of unity consciousness at that vibration. If I told you the history of unity versus duality consciousness in the galaxy, that might inspire you to get on with it. Fact is, this universe was of unity consciousness until the negative ETS came along. It's due to their influence that you think the way you do. Haven't we made this clear? Do you really want to keep thinking like a draconian? I've talked about two things here. There are those of you who are in your thoughts, and those of you who examine your thoughts. The ones who are in your thoughts, you need to debunk them by using the blouse example I just talked about. The smart ones are the ones who are above their thoughts and examining them, understanding that these negative thoughts are injected into their minds. There are at least these two ways of dealing with your thinking, and it depends on how much you believe you are a negative thinker. We've given you all you need to create great change within yourselves. If you're not going to do it, may I suggest you stop following this channel or at least stop contacting me, because the first thing I look for in people is how responsible they are with their thoughts. It's the first thing. Maybe you find it hard to believe that you're so important that your mind is worth messing with to the extent that the negative alien alliance has done, but you are that important. You are a creator, and right now if you keep reacting/enacting every negative thought you have, then you are creating bad karma for yourself.